Hello, we have a game with our high elves against lizards. Our team is, yeah, we got dodge and two catches, dodge on a blitz of two catches, that's kind of where we're at. I'll look at his team in a moment, because otherwise it'll do that little glitch. Are they there? We shall see. I guess we have a little, inducement. But I don't know if it's a whole lot. We shall see. Oh, it's actually quite a lot. Let's see. So what have they got going on? All sorts. Whoa. This is interesting. How do you make different colors? How are they doing? How many games have they played? They've played 6 games. We've played 2. Wow, 200 Saurus. Regular Crocs. Saurus with tackle, but not with block. And then an Agi Skink. This guy is movement 9. This guy's movement 10. He would need another movement to be a totally natural one-turner. He's got 12 players. Only 2 rerolls. Okay, so we know what we're up against. Hey, Dweebear, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, the team is a little broken, isn't it? Do I take the wizard versus it? It's a tricky one, actually. Elves don't really have a star player that makes a whole lot of sense for this kind of money. I mean, we could take a bribe, but we'd be probably just stamping on skinks, which, I mean, could be worth. It's got 5 of them. But probably not. Could take the extra reroll, but as elves, that doesn't feel... I think maybe the wizard. You agree? Yeah. If we were a different team, I might take the bribe. If we were like a more undead team or something, I might take that bribe. But yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. I mean, oftentimes I don't mind playing lizards at this stage with elves, but that's more with dark elves who can kind of make up with the block. We'll see how this goes. We'll go defense. But, you know, high elves aren't that different. Do we protect a catcher? I might actually take a catcher off here. Save him for offense, because we're going to be taking hits. We'll leave one on for mobility, for helping out with assists and whatnot, but... And I think that's what we want to do. Yeah, not huge at all. The tackle is, instead of block, is interesting. Also, how'd you get coloured names? Like, how do you make that happen? I've seen a few weird things with, I don't know if it's like, if you sort of mod into the game or something. Like, you got a red name there. A pink name. I think there's a blue one. There's a green one there. It's interesting. I mean, I don't see it often, so I'm assuming it's not something... I mean, it's obviously not something you can just do, so there's got to be some fiddly way to do it. Yeah, there's got to be something going on with that, and I don't know what it is. Some kind of modding, I would guess, but oh, team colors changed. Interesting. Ah, it would be cool if they kind of. I assume they don't allow a lot of modding on the game, if any. It'd be kind of cool if you could mod, or you know, create more in the way of the aesthetic things, right? Because you know, if they had opened that up, then people would have made all sorts of cool alternate player heads and stuff. Like if you could do stuff like that, that'd be really cool, and people would have done it, I assume. Maybe they didn't because they thought they might do it, and then they kind of lost interest. It feels like our opponent is sort of half here and half not here. They took a long time to do inducements as well, considering they didn't have any, so... Yeah. Yeah, me neither. It's not my, not my area of expertise. Yeah, now, the thing with the badges, I feel like I remember hearing that maybe they gave out badges to some people, like the development team, so I don't know if there was some of that happening for maybe people that won early competitions, maybe to certain streamers early on. I feel like that might be a thing, but I'm not 100% on that. But I feel like I heard mention of that. Okay, maybe he's just having some connection issues or something. So quick snap is not ideal for us. He can see if the source... I bet the source will catch it. I bet he will. After I don't know, I've been having a lot of that lately. The ball going to players you can't get it off. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Plus side, I suppose, is if the yeah, exactly. Don't remind me about that game. If the tackle guy gets it, then he's probably not going to be hitting our blodge. That's true, we got the whiz. My usual tactics for it'd be catching on a 6, so it's gonna happen. Usual tactics for lizards is, you know, screen a bit here and there, but then when it looks like there's an opportunity, you just base all the Saurus and attack, and obviously there's only so much they can do with that. Boy, lizards, I know they're strong in some ways, but they feel so rough early on with just no block. Running the 2 rerolls feels kind of scary. But they will pound you. I gotta say, early on I'm finding this a bit interesting. Probably should have made that a 3 dice, right? I mean, I say it like as a question. Should have made that 3 dice. He's got like 4 skanks back here, so... Yeah, I think it's once... Basically, once you get block across the Saurus, then they're horrible. You know, and probably like a second skill after that. So a few guards, a tackler, a mighty blow. Then they become extra horrible. But then, after that, I feel like they swing back again because the other teams start getting the killer players and they're in trouble again, so... obviously they're really good, but they do have their problems. I'm tempted to send the blodger around the back to see if we can do some, get him in position to hit skinks. Because knocking over the Saurus is only going to do so much, right? Yeah. Yeah, they've got like a window where they're super good. And then it kind of all goes wrong. Hmm. Oh, that's where he should have been hitting from. No! Why did I path it that way? Okay. Okay, so change plan. I don't know why I let it auto-path that. Okay, we got away with it, but that was obviously, I should have been paying better attention to that. Alright. Yeah. Oh, you've played lizards the most. Okay. Yeah, I don't play them. I don't like... Yeah, I don't like their early game, and I don't like the lack of agility. We play opposite teams. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're great. I don't know, their playstyle doesn't appeal to me. Lizards, woodies, orcs, and Norse are my top 4. Oh yeah. I mean, woodies and orcs we have some crossover, but as you know, wood elves are not in my top 2 elf teams I play, so... orcs I quite like, though. That's our sort of mutual situation. Is he gonna leave me? He's gonna... If he comes down to... Oh no, he can reach, okay. I thought he couldn't quite get the cage over there. I assume he's gonna jam some more stuff in here, because obviously we do have a block here. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're gonna get like a skink in here somewhere. Yeah. Orcs might be... I don't know if this is controversial, but I feel like orcs can sometimes hang at higher TV as well. I know they can get mashed up, but they're so guard and AV heavy that they can sometimes still compete with those, with the claw teams. I feel like. Obviously, not all the time. And sometimes they get wrecked, but... I suppose you could also say that bash teams struggle against bash teams, so it's like... You know, it's like Chaos are great at high team value, but if you run into another Chaos, obviously they're just as bad as Orcs, so I don't take the troll. Let me just think for a second here. We could come here and here, knock this guy here, 2 dice against... It's probably not a terrible idea. I do have to get this guy up. And then this guy is actually going to be my second assist. Oh, that's a 1 dice. Yep. You know what? We should bring this guy over as well. Because obviously he's going to try and push down here if he can. Alright, that's what we needed for our second roll, but I'll take it for our first roll. You blitz... Oh, we've got an arm value 8 there as well. Could blitz him. But I like the... You know, if we can get this ball free, he's in all sorts of trouble, right? I'm gonna leave that guy. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's probably a good, sensible option. Which one do you want? Been doing well with the red dice the last game or two. We will pop him here. Can't follow. Which means it's going to come here. Okay, it went there. Well, that's pretty retrievable for him, but I think it was still worth the effort. Can we make the dodge? We can. So we are going to take a couple hits in return, but we got it off the Saurus now. He's not going to pick it back up on a Saurus, which means it's going on a more vulnerable player, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, I mean, if he picks it up on the Agi-Sking, which he probably should, honestly, then if we do end up bolting it, that's, you know, a double bonus, if you see what I mean, because maybe we get the Agi-Skink off the field. But yeah, for orcs, I usually just go... Now, I do take the thrower, I have to admit. Oh, this is... Okay, it's fine. He's pushing hard here, which is weird because where's he going? Like, he can't protect the ball down here. I suppose with Skinks he could. Yeah, he could pull Skinks. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, not really. And this guy's gone as far as he can. This is scary times for him, I feel like. I don't understand the push through when you're not coming, like, you can't really push. If you see what I mean. Picks up the ball. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's been... I remember, I did, back in the day, I used to keep an eye on the, like the Steam forum for Blood Bowl 2. And I feel like there's like a 100-page thread on whether you should use the thrower or not for orcs. Very back and forth discussion, which is kind of funny. I mean, I honestly... I think it's fine either way. And I think most people, if they are not just being inflammatory, will say, you know, perhaps the not taking the thrower is marginally a better decision, or taking the thrower for a small amount of time is okay, and then you just sort of, you know, push him out the team over time when you get a blitzer with sure hands or plus agility or something. But yeah, it is an interesting one. Now, if you get move up on the thrower, or if you manage to roll dodge, arguably, that should become a much more valuable player, right? So you could also argue for fishing for... Well, he's taken some risks, and he's kind of got away with them so far. Could bolt this on the line here. Only downside is we don't... It's not for sure where it will go, but we might be able to kind of push somebody onto it again. It's just... Yeah, it's an interesting play. I feel like the bolt on the sideline feels pretty good. Yeah, I think it is, but of course you don't have that from the start. You don't have the sure hands, so you could argue for taking one in the starting lineup and then dropping it once you get sure hands, I think. Doesn't fizzle. Nice. We don't armor break him, but we do get the ball out of the blob, I think. Although it could get back in the blob. Nope, that's perfect. Alright, so we've kind of got a bit of a natural cage around it already. Honestly, I think the first thing we do here is try and pick it up. Because then we can decide how we're going to move the rest of our team, right? For the moment, I'm going to put it on the blodge because I felt after yesterday's game that I should have been using the blodge and I wasn't, and I was like, yeah, the safety of the blodger is so huge. I mean, ideally I'd like to score on this guy, but he's laying down, so... kind of put in a double screen. Alright, let's see if this works. It does, very nice. I know this is off tail, but if we can get it, it would be quite nice. Because it means we can do this. Oof. And I'm actually going to leave this guy laying down until the Saurus moves, I think. I don't know, the Saurus might just come in here. We'll try and get away. If we were Skaven, we'd do that on a 3+, so why not do it with Elves? Yeah, that went very well. The only thing that didn't go well was he didn't kill the skink. Yeah, you can't really complain about that when the ball effectively just lands in the middle of your team, can you? So, I'm not going to. It would be nice to try and kill the skink on the way, but he's sort of protected the skink. Oh, that's useful as well, because that's gonna really impact his ability to stop us coming up here. Because like all his Saurus are so far on the wrong side, they could come in and get kind of in the way, I suppose. But yeah, the skink on the sideline, I mean, I don't know if he could have got him to a safer place. I wasn't really paying attention when he set his team up. I was so confused by trying to push so hard down the sideline so early. I think if anything, I'd say that was probably the main mistake, was the hitting the catcher. So the rest of it was, you know, kind of obviously not the best. It's gonna blitz. But yeah, it'd be interesting to run orcs with no thrower. I don't know that. I honestly don't know if I've done it. I actually think he was going for the right person in the first place, because if he gets this guy in, it kind of traps us in a little bit, and we'll probably have to try and blitz out of this to get enough players to get the ball safer. Oh, okay. He is stuck there now, but I suppose so are these guys. But that frees up like 4 of our players to move. Yeah, probably should try it sometime. I'm gonna send this guy after the skink. How far can we get here? Not really that far if we think about it. So we'll try and blitz this guy. I guess he should go one more forwards. Very nice. Keeps him locked down, and if we go there... I mean, if this guy hits, it won't keep him locked down, but... Put that guy there. See if we can get this guy away. And these guys are probably just going to take hits. More TV efficient. Yeah, I suppose it is marginally. Although, is it more TV efficient? Because you do have sure hands already. So that means you don't have to get sure hands later. He comes with a skill that you're going to get. So you could argue that he's 20k. That 20k for sure hands is already put to use. Now, you do get the arm value 9, I will admit that. I think if the thrower was arm value 9, it wouldn't be an argument, right? I think people would just take them. Or at least it'd be less of an argument. I suppose you could still not take them because you want the ball to be on a faster player. But I think you'd see them a lot more. But I mean, in some ways, I think that's what makes a thrower so like a perfect player for Orcs. I kind of like having players on the team that are... you can argue for. I feel like there should be more players like that. Where it's like, should you take him? Shouldn't you take him? You know. I don't think there's enough of that. I feel like every team should have a few players like that, and I don't think they do. Lizards being a prime example. There's kind of no argument about what your Lizard team should be. Now, Norse is a good one. Norse, I feel like there's good arguments to be made for a bunch of the players. Humans, you can have arguments. Alright, so he did sacrifice himself for this, but it does mean 2 skinks are not getting in our way. Or they're getting in our way less. Oh, the foul. Oh, is he sneaky? He is? I didn't even notice he had that. Nice. Yeah, Rat Ogre's a good debatable one. I feel like the Minotaur is bad enough that he's not really... I mean, you can debate having him, but it's... I think the general consensus is you just take him for fun. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've taken him before. But I wouldn't try and argue that it's good. I think this guy can only get to here. No, he can get all the way. This is the most cage building I've ever been. Good job. Now it's just dodging off as many guys as we can dodge off, starting from the furthest away so that we're sort of helping cover. You know, like, I'd rather the closer guys get hit and his guys can't move in on us than the further guys, if that makes any kind of sense. Oh, he really stupided, right? So we should try and get this guy out. I'm actually going to leave this guy in. Troll on orcs. Yeah, I mean, that's actually true. The troll is a good call. Of it can be reasonable. I even think, I mean, I know it's controversial. I even think that the Dark Elf Runner is a debatable character. The Assassin isn't really. Unless you're playing in the League, and then it's debatable. But for sort of ladder play, I honestly think the Runner is debatable enough. He's not bad enough to be... there, you know, there are uses, and he's not that much more expensive. And he frees up your blitzers and your witch elves to do other things. So I think he's on the lower side of argue for, but I would say so is the troll, right? So I certainly wouldn't argue that somebody should start with a runner unless they just feel like it. What else is there? I suppose a lot of throwers are ones that you could argue for or against. What's fun is thinking about what if you could take it on a different team. So, for instance, would you take a runner? Would you take a Dark Elf runner on some other teams? And the funny thing is, I think you would take it on a lot of other teams. I feel like it would be a must-take on... I mean, if you could take one as a Lizard player, would you take one? I mean, I feel like you would. It's the quality of and the style of the rest of the team that is what makes you feel like maybe you shouldn't take one, right? So I find that kind of interesting. Oh man, he's fishing for double sixes here. Is he going to drop the reroll? I mean, probably shouldn't, but maybe he's going to. That is asking for a lot there. Yeah, goblin weapons. I mean, there's a fair discussion of should you just take goblins at all, right? What are we on? We're on 6. Kind of getting harder to stall. I mean, we can do it if we make some dodges. Oh, that's nice. Arguably, we could actually surf this guy. Yeah, how many vampires? How many is, I think, is a cool debate as well. So I think what we do here is we do the ball carrier blitz to free up these two guys to get back involved. Okay, that's fine. I have not played much Vamps, but I think they have one of my best records in Chalice because I played them for like a season and just had a really good season. Let's see. I think that one's worth a reroll. And that's why. because of the armor. Yeah. I think I took 4. I didn't play as many games I would have liked with them. Let's have a look. So... we played 9 games and we were 7-2-0. So we had an 89% win rate with them. It was going so well, and then the season ended because I was playing them side by side with Brett's. But I actually really enjoyed playing them. But it wasn't enough games to feel like I knew what I was doing, like, know all the ins and outs of them. But they're such an entertaining, team, as are Kislev. I kind of wish I'd taken Kislev into the Tiki League that I'm playing in, because that feels like a fun format to play them in. Yeah, they just have their own... they kind of play by their own rules, right? I wonder if he forgot about this guy. Maybe he was stunned or something? I don't remember. I kind of went for loose cage here because I was hoping to get another turn of stall out, and I was trying to keep a little bit of distance from the ball carrier, but I may just have to go in here because he's going to be able to jam a lot of guys in. He's only got 1 turn left after this anyway, so he'll be just on the 1-turner, although, I mean, he does have a really good 1-turner who I thought about fouling, but I just didn't have the enough players to do it. Yeah. I really want to turn on score 8. But he can... I mean, he should be applying a lot of pressure here. He should have this guy up here. He should probably... hit... one of these guys should hit this. Have a Bravey's feeling. The other one should come in here or here. I feel like this guy needs to follow up to maybe here. And then skinks just need to come in and surround me, and then it's like... I'll just be happy to score, So that's what I would be trying to do. Oh no, the KO. Again. Yeah, it would be kind of fun to play with 6 vampires, but, absolute chaos. I suppose you could argue that Troll Slayers are one of those players that is questionable, right? I've seen a lot of people playing without any at all. I kind of like to... Oh, what? What just happened there? Huh. That's unfortunate. I assume internet problems got the better of him, but we didn't have, like, the cutout thing, so it may have been just getting too annoying to play, and he was just like, I can't deal with this for another hour. I'm gonna give up. And, obviously we had the ball and everything, so maybe that's what happened. We do level up a lineman. Exciting times. Yeah, that's it. We only made 9... I mean, there wasn't a lot that happened that game. So let's level that guy up and see what we get. He's probably getting wrestle. Unless he doubles, in which case he's getting guard. Wrestle it is. Is there anything I'd take over that? No. Nope. Not at this stage, anyway. And do we bring in another catcher? How many catchers is too many? I kind of like having a full complement of them because I feel like they're the superstars of the team. But they do die, right? We could just sort of embrace. I usually try and keep TV low, but there's something to be said for playing elves with a bit of a bench because obviously they do die. So we could run the catcher and then have 13 players, because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that our teams don't stay alive. So I think I might do that. I know we could get a third reroll as well, but we could keep our team value down by minimizing rerolls. Is it better to have 12 players in a reroll? That is possible. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing with 2 rerolls recently. And every time I see it, I'm like, that's how they snuck their team value so low. Which is kind of making me want to do that. Could drop the reroll later. That is interesting. Yeah, getting rid of rerolls. That's so decadent. But maybe not a bad call. I mean, this is one of those situations, right, where there's no necessarily right or wrong. We could get a catcher in, just have a big bench. We could foul players. We could have bench for when people are out. Or we could get a third reroll. We could just get rid of the 20k and say the team's in a good place. You do that all the time? I don't remember ever having got rid of a reroll. Yeah. I'm pretty harsh on injured players, but I'm not very harsh on rerolls. Huh. I'm not sure what to do. How long was that? Wow, that was enough of the game that I can't really just jump into another one. Another reroll will put us at like, what, 12, 20? 12, 20 with very little skills on the team is a bit scary. I usually have so many more deaths by now, it's hard to know what to do. Usually I'm just desperately spending money on anything I can. I probably should get the reroll. It allows us to do more crazy stuff, right? Oh, that just puts us 1200. Oh, because we had the extra from being 170. Yeah. I'm taking the reroll. I like 1200 is a nice team value. 1200 with 12 players feels pretty tasty. I always forget that petty cash is adding on. So, yeah, what does that put us? 201. Pretty happy. I mean, I'm not happy with that. It should be 300. But yeah, 201. It's okay. It's a bit early for a loss. But, you know, the turn 16 of our last game did not go our way. I actually think, where are we in the day? Yeah, I don't think I can play a second one. I was just going to play one game. I hate when I'm just going to play one game and then you get a concede. And then you're sort of like, well, now what do I do? But yeah. Yeah, they don't, but I feel like that's the thing, though. They don't start well, but I feel like you kind of want to start them well to... I mean, it sounds like a ridiculous thing. I want to start well with them. Because then you can get ahead of the other High Elves, right? I mean, it's kind of a silly thing to say, but I suppose I have an expectation of starting well, because I feel like I also, don't know if this is true, I feel like I play better at low team values. I feel like some people play better at high and some people play better at low. But usually, this is kind of my favorite place to play. I mean, I enjoy playing at high team value, but yeah, definitely, for whatever reason, my mind works better for this. Yeah, I do sometimes go for a thrower, but I definitely don't start with it. The thing is, I love the catches. Like, I want to get 4 catches. Because, although they're expensive, you know, I kind of treat them a bit like you might sort of treat gutter runners, right? So I'll have like a wrestle tackle one, probably 2 blodge step ones. You're just hoping for guard. Like, they're so good. So thrower, I don't mind getting, but it's not top of my list. And I tend to feel like the downside to taking throwers is sometimes the temptation is to hold the ball with him at the start of the half, because then he can deposit it. But sometimes his lack of speed means that he doesn't get into a good enough position to do that, and you can get yourself in trouble, whereas if you just had it on a catcher with blodge already, it would be safer. So I've definitely got myself in movement trouble by trying to keep it on the thrower for too long. So, I mean, obviously that's just poor decision making. But not having one means you don't have to worry about making that decision. You're just like, who's going to carry the ball? A catcher. And, if we had had a second half there, I wouldn't have been carrying on the blodge guy, I'd have been carrying on a catcher. And then, if things go badly wrong and I need to hand off to the blodge guy, then I will, just to keep the ball safe, but... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's arguably one of the best throwers in the game, right? Yeah. I don't like the movement 6, which is silly to say after I said I like taking the the orc thrower, right? But make of it what you will. I don't like how much he slows down the team moving forwards. It's kind of it's silly for me to argue that I like the orc thrower, but the high elf thrower is a problem. But yeah, especially when you get the 4 catches in, you have a unit that can move at movement 7 or 8, and having the thrower try and pathetically stay with that is a bit sad. So yeah, I tend to shy away. I just love high movement, so we'll pretend we didn't have the conversation about the orc thrower. But yeah. Maybe I won't take the orc thrower so much in the new rules on Blood Bowl 3. I don't know though. I don't want to commit to that, because the fact that you can, the way the rules work are a bit different now in terms of leveling up and such, and how the different teams interact, so... But I might not. Yeah. I've had some ridiculous high elf catches, and that's kind of made me love them. I got old team. I'm really bad about deleting my old teams. Let's see if I can find one. So did I have... Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous, obviously, but movement 9, agility 6. Beautiful. And then the strength, if you can get a strength 4 catcher, oh, so good. Wow, look at the stats on that team. That's ridiculous. That's just playing back in open ladder. Yeah. that was some nice catches. Do I have any good ones on this? How would? Yeah, decent record there. Yeah, see, this is my ideal. If I could make this catcher on this team, I'd be happy. Agi 5, like that's the. I mean, it's not the. It's obviously not the ultimate cage diver, but it's close, right? So yeah, I do love my high elf catchers and have as many of them as I can. I just haven't played them much recently. Because, you know, I like Dark Elves. Yep, they're the only two old ones. Where? Only two old ones I have left. Yeah. Well, you won't play Blood Bowl 3, don't like the game or the new rules. Okay, okay. What are you going to do then when Blood Bowl 2... Because Blood Bowl 2 probably will kind of, you know, meet its end, right? What are you going to do when that happens? Because I am going to play Blood... I mean, I probably am going to play... Unless they continue to wreck it, I am going to play Blood Bowl 3. Once they get, like, the good stuff in there. And when I say good stuff, I mean once you can make leagues. You know, once there's, like, hopefully a ladder with a table that you can look at and whatnot to actually make sense of what's going on. Once that stuff... Once the sort of basics are dropped in, I'll play it, but... Right now, it's not... Apart from the fact that I am enjoying it... I'm enjoying the new rules because they're new, if that makes sense. Whether the rules are better or worse, I wouldn't like to say, but it's, you know, it's that kind of slight freshness of like, oh, there's some, you know, slightly different ways the rules work. There's these new skills. You've got kind of new teams, even though they're not. There's nothing that crazy new about them. You know, it's novel. So I'm enjoying playing the games I'm playing, despite how poorly the game is sort of executed. But yeah, it is, it's not super tempting right now, apart from the very occasional game. I'm not even trying to play on the open ladder because it doesn't feel worth it. And I know they're trying to run like a sort of chalice, but I tried watching one of the videos, and of course there's no recording feature, so it's just watching somebody else's stream, and it's kind of... It's a bit slow and boring, and you can't really see what's going on, so I kind of gave up pretty quick. But yeah. We shall see. Anyway, I think I'm going to... I left the recording on, so sorry anybody that's watching this on YouTube if you've watched this far, but I just let it kind of record a little bit longer so that it's not totally obvious it's concede, because I kind of hate watching videos where I know it's going to be a concede, because it's like, eh. But I don't mind if it kind of happens partway through as a surprise, so hopefully that is the case for you as well. But yeah, I'm going to end the video, and I think I'm going to end the stream, call it early. I'd like to still be playing, because that was kind of an interesting game. It had the potential to be interesting. I assume their internet just was bothering them too much. But yeah, I'm gonna head on out. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys for the next one. Playing High Elves again is kind of being fun, so probably be a few games out of these guys, I imagine, if time allows. Sorry about the crazy light there. It's hard to get the video right. It's either too grainy and dark or just too ridiculously bright. I don't know. Anyway, have a good day. See you soon, and bye for now.